All right, what's going on, everybody, if there is anybody over there? So this is sort of an impromptu streaming. Wait, hold on. What's up? What's going on, everybody? What's up?
Hey, man, check this out, man. The Haynes is in action, man. Can't stop it, man.
We love the city. We love our market shit.
2 times.
And you know, it's MLK Day.
That's right.
You know, so I'm proud to be a black man in America.
Hey, man, tell the people to stop hating on MLK Day.
Tell them to stop the niggas
I'm
right now.
in jail on MLK Day. Ain't that a bitch?
And you know, me personally,
See that? That's black love
I'm
right
a
there.
proud black man, but at the end of the day, I get oppressed every day, but it makes me a stronger black man. That's all I can say.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, you a cool dude for stopping to even talk to us and videotaping us.
Oh, no problem.
Hey, you know what? And I will tell you
appreciate
something
that.
right now. All we gotta do is have a conversation, and things will get a lot more easier for all of us,
And a
for
lot,
all the
and a
races,
lot
my
better.
brother.
Yeah.
One simple
My white friend,
conversation.
he told me something good today, and I appreciated him. He said, man, once I hung out with you, I swear to God, I swear I never would have understood how hard it was to be a black man just because we went hanging out, walking around.
Yeah, he
Shopping.
felt the pressure by just being next to us,
He's
associated with us.
seen how immediately as we go places, how badly I get treated for no reason. I got money in my pocket, I look good, and I'm not stealing. And I still get treated like a fucking thug. Ain't that a bitch?
Man, money ain't nothing. We got money. That's what we do. It's nothing. You know, we got food stamp cards too. We like to eat free food. Fuck it, why not? You know what I'm saying? We gonna work the system as long as we can until we get where we gotta go next. All we want is opportunity to be out here to make good money and provide for our families.
I want to
be
work.
a great citizen out here in America, man. That's it.
I want to provide.
You know?
Where you guys
I
from?
want to be a good citizen.
Hunters Point, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. You know?
Yeah, I used to live over there.
Yeah, it's a good place, man.
No,
It's the
not
best
really.
place in the
Well, not really, not really.
No.
It's
Fuck
the
no.
best place
That's the
in-
realest.
it's the
Yeah,
best place in the
no.
city.
No.
That's why
But
it's
you know,
getting
it's hidden gem
gentrified.
though. It used to be really nice. It used to be a lot more pure than what it is right now.
Family orientated.
But
Until
a
they
lot has
start
happened. A lot has
gentrifying it.
happened. A lot has happened. A lot of bad things. A lot of bad structural
When you
things.
take away the work,
Yep.
when you take away the after-school programs,
Yeah.
when you take away
The leaders.
the things
Oops.
that the neighborhoods need,
The
then that
essentials.
is that you get what you get, which is crime,
Mind you, the
high pregnancy rates in teenagers, as well as just a lot of drug use.
mind you,
If people was working-
justification, right? That's a word I want to use.
If people was working, they wouldn't be trying to get high.
But put this out though, what's happening though more now, you gotta understand, first one was a hidden gem. We barely used to see Caucasians on third streets and stuff like that. And I'm not saying the wrong with seeing a white man or anything like a white woman, but it was such a, I mean, with it being so prevalent now in the Bayview,
They turn their nose
like
up.
being
They
left
turn their nose
behind
up.
even more.
They turn their nose up at
In the
us.
neighborhood that we from, that's our native, that's where we was born and raised. Like we've been out here all our lives. We just got here 2 years ago, you know what I mean? But you should be able to embrace us as neighbors rather than looking at us down on us like that. You know what I mean? We got resources and love.
Before we rob your funky ass.
Right. What he said. Hey, what's your name, bro?
My name's Lee.
What's
My name
up,
is
Lee?
Fahim, man.
Fahim?
It's Fahims.
My name is
and
Rahim. That's Fahim.
Fahim and Rahim.
H2G.
Oh, okay.
H2G in the building, man.
H2G.
H2G. That's
Hey,
the
hey,
Heems.
tell that company
Heems 2 gang.
that Macy's hired to stop fucking following me.
Yeah.
Are they
And,
following you over, Macy's?
And tell them to get us off that damn Market Street booster
Market
list,
Street
too.
booster list.
Yeah, we want to get off that list, man.
Cut that shit out.
What's that booster list about?
Man, they got a booster list, man. They got
If you
like
steal once, then they send people to follow you. And my boy said he got poisoned by somebody.
in the back room.
You got poison? How did you get poisoned?
He said they offered him some food in front of the mall before he went in to go steal, and he woke up laying in the middle of the street.
Wow.
Watched get hit by a bus. I swear to God.
Just blacked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally.
And
Yep.
he doesn't use drugs.
Yeah.
What we do, though, as you see. But look, we fly, though. We ain't no broke motherfuckers out here. We ain't doped out. Like, we good. Like, we handle our business. We go to work. We
I like
take
to
care of our
call
kids.
it. I like to call it.
But we like to be that dope. We can say that.
a
We
cool,
like that
a
dope.
cool user.
How long have you been indulging?
Huh?
How long you been indulging for?
I would
Just
say-
a few minutes.
not
Well,
today.
A couple years.
Couple years?
Yeah, black and whites. You good? Go ahead, though. You good?
All right.
A couple years, but we'll call ourselves functioning addicts.
That's what it's called.
That's what we are. To the T though, to the T. We put priorities first, and then we got some time to lay back and chill. We do this, you know.
You live with your family over in Hunters Point?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
My mama stay over there right now. Yep, that's the street.
Yeah.
My wife and kids stand.
You're married, huh?
Dog patch.
Oh, okay.
You know dog patch?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Hey,
so,
man.
you know, we the projects.
At the end of the day,
projects.
I buy cocaine from a white man. Fuck that. And the heroin come from Abu.
Abu.
Or the Hondos. It's a Hondurians.
Yeah.
They got a hell of a machine up there.
And the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, they allow them to bring it in.
Yes, they do. And you know what? They allow them to
sell it.
To function and sell with no impunity. They're all in the system together. They don't get arrested or nothing what they do because it's already at the table. Okay, here. This your little change for you, little change for you. We're going to do our thing all month long. Don't bother us, don't fuck with you. All the fucking system,
As long as
man.
they get a fucking cut.
As long as they get their cut.
You ever get a bad cut? You know, like a bad cut?
Some bad dope?
Yeah.
Nope.
No, we veterans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we know
I know how to not buy that shit.
Yeah.
We know the telltale signs.
All right.
We're not going to get out. If they do it like that, they're going to get fucked
So
up
let
anyway.
me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Since we're just volunteering all this information, what is the real purpose behind you recording, and what were you recording?
I'm just trying to show what the city's really like. You know, like San Francisco's got problems, and I've been trying to show like homeless people and like talk to people, see what their life is like.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I will tell you is San Francisco is one of the places with the flyest homeless community. Because we all homeless.
I used to be homeless too.
You know what? And we all one step away from being homeless. Even if you're in a nice ass apartment, house, whatever.
Yeah.
I always think my mentality is you one step away from being homeless. All on what you do in your life.
That's why you never make fun. Fuck with the homeless people because you can always be there like that, man.
Yeah.
And listen, one more time before you go, bro. I got Levi's everything on right now too. Check this out. Levi's backpack, Levi's hat, Levi's jeans. Because she was born and made in San Francisco. I'm a true San Franciscan, man. I love my city.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
I love my city.
He is talking about it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the security that they're hiring. Please tell me why they're hiring these African descent security people.
Yes.
Like straight from Africa.
And they basically train them.
Yes.
To like
they give them
basically only attack other blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I literally sit there and walk in with a white person,
crazy, man.
and he's stealing.
Yeah.
Like a
and
motherfucker.
we're doing this on purpose. He's stealing. I'm not stealing.
Yeah. I got you.
And
you're the Robin. He's the Batman.
And the security is literally only following me.
Why does white guys over there tearing
and they're praising the white people.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like the company is like making them do that, and then it's like it's basically like they slaves or something.
But then keep this out though, they turn out the cheap when it comes down to the
and the Safeway on Church Street. I swear to God, they need to be boycotted because yesterday I made me a plate from their buffet style area, and I didn't have enough money to pay for it. And whoever that cop was that was on duty in between the hours of 2 and 6, he took me and 2 of my cousins' food and literally threw it away. Instead of just saying, hey, you guys don't have the money to pay for it, give it back, get out. Yeah. And then he could have took that food, put it in the fridge, and when he got off of work, gave it to a real homeless person like that man over there that's on the ground, probably ain't ate in days.
Yeah, look at that guy right there.
He could have gave it to him.
I'm going to go over there later, yeah.
No. But tell them about what happened with you last night with the pepper spray, bro, at 7-Eleven, bro.
Oh, 7-Eleven.
Fucking bullshit. It's not like my people.
The clerks at all these stores are so
gun-ho.
So
to get us.
Gun-ho.
And very like aggressive, just ready to do it.
The media has told them that the blacks are just so violent and such animals and whatever, that they're so scared of me, when you can ask my friend right here, I'm one of the nicest people you can ever meet.
That he is. Very nice guy. Sweet soul.
This fool thought I was gonna walk out the store with some items, and basically punched me in the back of the head, and then pepper sprayed me.
Wow.
The reason why he even got pepper sprayed and punched because he was trying to protect a young lady,
and I was trying to protect the lady that he was about to attack.
Yeah, literally.
That was in a 7-Eleven?
Yes. Tell me across the street in the main street. What was that? Exactly where it's at.
I'm not sure exactly, but it's in the Stockton area up by at the top of Union Square.
Because the thing about it, the word has to get out, man. Just like a fucking commercial or news blog coverage.
It's
like
word
got to get out, brother.
It's like everywhere we go.
Yeah.
No matter if you're stealing or causing trouble or not, no matter what you look like, you can be a dirty homeless person. You can be a clean, fly young gentleman like myself.
Or me.
Or this man right here.
Yeah, definitely.
They're still gonna treat you like you're some type of animal that's going around.
You don't want to know why they do that though? All because of this, my brother.
Like doing Lord knows what, but we don't.
My skin color. Exactly. I can't change. He can't change this. I can't change this. We are who we are.
You know, and then for another example, the same type of situation, Van Ness Street and Market, Walgreens, the security guard is Filipino. I swear to God, I'm gonna sue him and beat his ass. The motherfucker pulled a gun on me and my female cousin over some goddamn Skittles.
Mind you, down at Burlington's on 5th and fucking Howard, Samoan man, was he Samoan or was he Mexican? Or was it Arab? A Yemen guy, Arabian descent, gunned down a black guy that went in there, was stealing or whatever, and he gunned him down in front of the store. Mind you, the guy didn't have no gun permit. I don't know how the fuck he was in with a gun. But mind you, he's not a police officer. All he was is security. His job is to observe and report. But he went out his fucking way to kill this black man because he was stealing out of Burlington, bro. And that's just some fucking bullshit, bro. You know what I mean? Because
and that goes to show you what kind of state the world is in,
and how serious they are to supposedly stopping us.
This man feels the need
to shoot a man down.
To shoot a man down over
and
some
things. Over some items of clothes
that are insured.
There you go. Say that part again. Say it again.
That don't belong to
insured.
him. They're insured, and on top of that, no matter if the shit gets stolen or not, he's still gonna get paid.
Regardless.
I'm a security guard myself. And the only thing that happens when you arrest someone that's stealing, when your loss prevention is you get a $100 to $200 bonus.
That's it.
But even if you don't arrest anyone, you're still getting paid your hourly salary.
Yeah. Mind you, that guy sitting in jail for fucking 30 years for doing that shit too.
Yeah.
Now I like the justice was served.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Thank you.
Yeah.
And one more instance I'm gonna say: this young lady got beat down and lost her baby. She was 8 months pregnant.
Yes.
And this is the reason why they got the no-touch policy down here on Market Street. This happened like a couple of months ago. She got beat down. To the team, what's up, my brother? She got beat down, man, and she lost her 8-month-old baby by security guards.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous, bro.
I've seen over at that Walgreens over there, some big-ass Samoan security guys mess people up.
Yeah. Down here?
Yeah, they just slam them against the wall and hold them up, you know? Like,
they
big
take their job too fucking
dudes.
serious, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
and that's how you can tell that these companies are not training their security, because you would know to not put your hands on anyone.
That's
the
all
only
the
thing you
bylaws
are
and
allowed
policies.
to do is to block their
exit.
And
once
if
they go past the doors, you
and,
cannot pursue them at all.
And once they try to push past you, then you must let them go.
Right. And when you're out the door,
all you do is observe and report.
That's it.
Not go outside and gun down. Not grab them by the throat, slam them against the glass.
No.
Not punch them in the back of the head and pepper spray them.
No. And not be the harmless and helpless young African American lady that's 8 months pregnant with a child so badly that she loses her 8-month-old baby 1 month before she's supposed to have the baby. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Come on, man. It has to stop. It must stop. And this is right now. I'm hoping this gets out to somebody. I don't know what you're going to do as far as broadcasting this, but
I don't want to see any kind of backlash
brother.
from this.
Yeah.
Because I swear, when people start speaking up about the injustice that goes on, I guarantee you, there'll be some kind of law enforcement following us two around.
Mahim does not care about the backlash. I'm standing up for my people right here and right now. I understand when you stand up for a cause, it come with certain things. But I'm not afraid of that. I feel like me standing up is gonna make me a more of a whole person, and I don't care what comes with it, man. I'm not gonna be a person out here. I'm gonna be a fearless advocate every day, all day. A fearless advocate every day, all day for my people in San Francisco. That's what it's gonna be. And whatever come with that, come with it. Straight up. Yeah. I'm proud to say it, man.
I'm gonna let them know right now.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'm getting my life together. You feel me? It's taking a little longer than expected, but it's getting there. And when I get back to where I need to be on top and with my family, I guarantee you, if I feel like my family is gonna be threatened,
that's the guy right there. His name is KG, King Gaffle. King Gaffle.
What's
Hey,
up?
you know Gaffle mean
To all my viewers, don't try this trick at home.
I wish that we could lose this love.
Baby, his bound to that way. To all my viewers.
We hurt each other with the thing we want to silence.
Should have been together.
Oh shit!
don't overuse.
Cut all that out. KG!
Don't overuse the drug.
King Gaffle. Yes,
That's what happens when you abuse.
There you go.
it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, back to show all of that because you're gonna show us talking so nice and with good verbs and verbiage and great vocabulary. You're gonna just show my brother KG. Everybody want a cigarette, bro?
No.
Okay, good. Hey, show a comparison of. It's a drastic difference.
Hey, Macy's is giving away shit and I'm scared to go in. Macy's is giving away shit and I'm scared to go in. Back to you, Bob. Now bring you back to our regular program. We're already in session.
I went to music.
Only in San Francisco.
That's right.
Only in San Francisco.
Yeah, the word is Macy's got 100% down.
All right then. See you guys later.
Hey, thank you.
What's your name?
Lee.
Hey,
Yeah.
good job, bro.
Hey, Lee, you got an
Yeah, I'm
Instagram
all
or
over
something like
it.
that?
I got a
Please, I would
YouTube
love to see
channel.
that, bro.
Lee's channel.
Nice.
What channel?
Yeah.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah, okay.
Subscribe.
Oh, so all of you
All right,
on
thank
YouTube,
you.
to all my viewers, back to you, Bob. And now bring you to our regular program already in session. I want to music, play so loud.
Okay, KG.
All right then. See you guys later. Well, there you go. The craziest things happen to me when I start the stream. You guys should have asked me some questions. I would have relayed them. But yeah. So anyhow, that was a trip. Unexpected. But that's why you should put those notifications on and see every stream, because you really, literally, they said it themselves, you never know what you're going to see in the streets of San Francisco. Speaking of which, I don't know what's going on over here. Yeah, well, anyhow. Anyways, what's up with you guys? Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day evening. For those who are not in the U.S., it's a holiday that we have annually where you basically get a Monday off to remember Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. So, I'm heading over into the TL. Maybe I'm not heading over into the TL just yet, but I am downtown. It's sort of my base of operations. I was sort of not thinking about streaming at first tonight, just because it's a little bit late, and you know, tomorrow, you know, have to take my daughter to preschool, do stuff. I was thinking of sort of making up for not streaming this weekend by streaming tomorrow, but oh well. I was already downtown because I was over at Blick trying to get some paint. So, anyhow, let's go see that guy that they were talking about earlier that was laid out over on the streets. Anyhow, what did you guys think about that whole thing? Let me see. There's no. Yeah. Well, that guy that they're talking about is not really laid out anymore. Hold on. Oh, it's some. I tried to switch the camera, switch right back forward. Yeah, but you look less skinny. Are you gaining weight? I don't think so. I'll cross the street from those guys again. They're yelling at somebody. They're calling somebody a faggot. But I don't really want to record them right now because I just spent so long talking. Anyhow, oh, hold on. So, am I gaining weight? Not intentionally. I don't think so. Hold on. What's wrong with you, John Smith? Hold on. I'm trying to see. I used to be able to moderate comments from here, but I can't anymore. Nope, can't. Oh well. Anyhow, yeah, what's up with you guys? Let's see. If you wanted to help people, you'd be volunteering your time. Well, John Smith, what is up with you? Maybe you didn't watch the beginning of the stream, but I was actually recording myself, and they asked me to turn around and record them. But what are you doing, John Smith? What are you doing with your free time? Tell me about how you volunteer. Wait, you were the one, you don't like me doing this. Well, you could easily stop watching. I don't know why you're watching the stream. I think, oh, sorry. I told you what I do. Yeah, you did some religious stuff, right? You did some, yeah, I forget what it was. Sorry. City team. That's right. It's like some sort of religious outreach program, right? Anyhow, you seem to have a lot of free time to be watching streams of people you don't like. I do more than that. I give me hard-earned money to people. Well, you know, you do what you want to do. I'm not going to put you down for what you do. I just don't know why you're subscribed and obviously getting notifications if you don't like who I am or what I do. Hello, Lalam. Lalam, I didn't upload anything on Twitter as far as my old artwork, but I will do that later. On Twitter, of course. So, anyhow, I guess I'm just sort of naturally wandering. I just feel like today is a little bit crazy to be going over into the Tenderloin. So I'm going over towards... wait, hold on. Let me switch around. I'm going over towards the ferry building just because I see a lot of people just sleeping out here on the streets at night. Hi, Laura Rasmussen. What's going on? How are you? How'd you find my channel? Would it be, Laura, would it be okay for me to tell people who you are? Or do you want me to keep that to myself? I won't say anything unless you want me to. So, anyhow, I really wish that I had some kind of hold on. Hello, Nippy. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to try to do something a little bit complicated right now. Now we're curious who she is. Oh, she said yes. Okay, so, for those who don't know, well, which is basically all of you, so my mom is schizophrenic. She had several children. I was the third of her children. She had a daughter before me, which she had given up, or basically abandoned at the hospital. And that's my sister, Laura Rasmussen. So, yeah, that's who she is. She recently reached out to me and, yeah, told me who she was. I always had known of her, but I hear some screaming downtown.
Yeah.
Oh well, sorry about that. She reached out and told me who she was, and yeah, we talked a little bit about my mom because she never met her, and you know, she's dead now, so she wanted to get to know what she was like. Let's see. I was checking on you and found your channel. Yeah, so anyhow, welcome to the channel. Basically, what I do is I try to show like the real issues that San Francisco goes through. So that's basically what I'm doing right now. I'm just looking around, trying to show the homeless people sleeping on the street, talk to them, hear what their lives are like. Yeah. So, and then I don't know if I ever told you, Laura, but I used to be homeless too, so I know what it's like basically on both sides. So after I turned 18, I was dropped off outside of a homeless youth shelter and had to claw my way out of that situation. Let's see. What's up, Uncle Chuckles? How are you? Yeah. So anyhow, just to simplify everything, yeah, Laura's my big sister. And I'm around here downtown. Not downtown, I guess that's getting towards the financial district. There's nothing really right here. I know people get tired of just looking at my face the whole stream as I walk from place to place. But I'm sure we'll find something eventually.
We vlogging out here.
I was just trying to see if they wanted to be on the street. Let's see. Good work. Nice to see you. Yeah, nice to see that you checked me out here too. Oh, let's see. That was the Hakkasan restaurant behind you. A coworker told me it's an awesome high-end Chinese restaurant. Let me see. I don't know. I see a. I don't see that. Maybe you wrote that comment a while ago. I see a Japanese place. Yakitori sushi. Let's see, the Ritz-Carlton. I don't know. I don't see it. Okay, now let's see. It's a little bit chilly downtown San Francisco, so maybe there won't be so many people out on the streets tonight. Boy, if you guys thought, if you guys think smoking's bad, you should have seen the beginning of the stream. It was on the corner before I saw. Oh, maybe I'll get it. I'll catch it next time. So, yeah. Let's see. It's okay. I never knew where it was before now. Looks like that John Smith guy's gone, right? Is he still here? Yeah, I don't see him. So far, I really haven't seen much of anything down here. Oh, here we go. So do you guys have any questions for me until I find something? Oh, it was pretty crazy. Those people who I met with before, they said that they were over at a 7-Eleven, got punched in the head and hit with pepper spray.
Oh my God.
So it's I normally see people around over here. Oops. Has YouTube messed with any more of your upload? Well, actually my previous live stream did get messed with. And so like I made it private, and then they told me that I should upload it first and then try to get approval. And I was like, how am I going to do that when it's a live stream, you know? I can't see through the glass. Oh well. Yeah, it is pretty crazy down here, as I expected. There's somebody over here digging through the garbage. Let's see. Kathy McLean, you're such a nice person. Who, me? Why am I such a nice person? Garbage over there. Oops. So, yeah, now it's suddenly got quiet over where I'm at right here. Oh, I guess they're collecting the trash. I've never seen this before. You have compassion for other people. Oh, thank you. I must be from construction. I thought they were emptying the trash cans. Kathy McLean, you have such compassion for other people. Thank you very much. Fortunately, right now, I'm not seeing any more of, what's his name, John Smith's comments. So I don't know if something happened to him or if he just dropped out. Oh, here it goes. Alright. Well, anyhow, I think my moderation tools just went up, so I think he should be on timeout for now. Oh, now it's all messed up. Sorry. There you go. Okay, so yeah, it's interesting. I never had somebody who subscribed to me just to berate me into the live streams before. like I had a discussion with him before, but it's not something I want to do every live stream. So right now I'll switch it around and show you. It's basically desolate where I'm at right now. I'm still on Market Street, and you know, nothing except for this smoky vent right here. Oops. Don't mind him, he's probably... I don't know, you know what? I don't know. Some people think that it's wrong to address issues. They feel like you'd be better off just not talking about them. But then how would they ever get addressed and solved? And would I make more of a difference by trying to make it a public discussion, or by just emptying out my pockets, you know, which are already pretty empty? How far is Twitter? Twitter is so oops, let me switch the camera around. So Twitter is the opposite of where I'm going. It's up over there on, like, I don't know, like 6th Street, something like that. Not very far. So yeah, maybe like 6 or 7 city blocks from where I'm at right now. I could walk over there if you want to. All the bikes look stolen. Well, yeah, that's what happens. Well, you know what's crazy now is now that they have electric bikes everywhere. But hold on, speaking of which, you can see a stolen bike right there. But yeah, you gotta lock your bikes up. San Francisco is pretty notorious. So I have a bike, although I haven't ridden it in a while. You know, I bought it used, and I let it get kind of ratty. It's still fully operational, but you know, I just let the tape on the handlebars sort of get messed up, and due to that, it looks worse than it really is. So I've never had any problem with my bike getting stolen here in San Francisco. Let's see, your Patreon. Oh, let's see. This is from Lesson Centennial. Your patron mentions videos that are too controversial for YouTube. I just want to know what makes them too controversial. Do they contain people saying racial slurs, nudity perhaps? So basically, I'm in a constant struggle with YouTube, just trying to put up the videos that I do, just talking to people on the street or showing what I see out on the streets. So they will flag my videos, and actually I almost lost my entire channel for recording the things that I record. So for example, I saw people smoking crack cocaine just blatantly out there in public in broad daylight, and I recorded that, and then I got a content strike on my channel, and so that video is not viewable right now. As far as I know, I don't think it's viewable, but it is over on the Patreon. But I don't think it's publicly viewable yet. Then I have other videos, like I have a video where I saw a guy like inhaling spray paint. He just put it in his mouth and was just sucking it in there. And I got a community strike on that for, they said it was for, like, something like advocating harmful content or something like that. Even though I had written at great length the dangers of huffing and inhaling. And so that one's on there. And then I think there's just things along that nature, you know. Anytime basically I get a content strike, or I get like flagged for demonetization or anything like that, I just am going to be taking the video and putting it over on Patreon some way or another. So even some of the videos over on Patreon, YouTube just refuses to host, so I have it over on Daily Motion and then embed it. So that's basically what it is. So they don't like me showing what I show. So this is basically why I started this channel in the first place, is because everybody wants to ignore the things that are around them, you know? They don't want to like really look at what's happening to the city as it's sort of decaying. They want to, like, you know, shuffle the homeless people around, throw away their tents and their blankets, and you know, open more homeless shelters, and in their minds that's solving the problem, but in my mind that's hiding the symptoms. So, you know, you got, you know, people like our current mayor, Lyndon Breed, giving a lot of fluff talk, but not really doing a whole lot. But nobody wants to do anything. They would rather just dump money into a few homeless shelters and maybe buy people bus tickets to get them the hell out of the city, rather than trying to solve the issues that are leading to people to being homeless or being addicted, or, you know, people with mental illness out on the streets. Those are more challenging issues to deal with. And yeah, like I said, due to that, it's not a popular subject to bring up. I mean, I myself get in trouble, although I don't think I've done anything controversial, you know? I mean, I guess it is controversial if people are saying it. Some people are saying it's bad. Oh, look.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you to... Oh, hold on. I'm about to get hit by a text. Oh, I can't see your... It's blocked. Oh, I couldn't see who get... Okay. Liz W. Thank you so much, Liz W. You're like the first person who's given me a super chat in like months. So thank you super much. Yeah, people don't want to address the issues. It's not a popular issue. And then these public these public representatives, all they care about is what's popular and doing things that may look like they're tackling the issue, and they don't care really whether it does or does not. So anyhow, that's basically what it is. Let's see, but if you had a show on HBO, anything goes. Yeah, that's a funny thing, right? Because like, if instead of San Francisco, if I was over in, like, you know, Bangkok, and showing the red light district, you know, and showing how like the children are being used and abused over there, then I'd say, wow, what great journalism. But if I'm showing the city that I actually live in, and came of age in, like, and show how, yeah, just the reality of what it's like here, talk about my own life experiences, that's another thing I can't do. I can't talk about when I was held hostage at a children's shelter. That is prohibited, and I think that's complete BS, you know. So it's just a constant frustration, and so sometimes you may see that I'm not active on the channel for a while, but there's usually things that are happening behind the scene that really just hurt all motivation. Oh my God, Sax Guy, I bet it's freezing over there. Yeah, it's a bit cold. Let's see. Are all of these SROs owned by the city? No, I don't think they're owned by the city. Let's see. Wait, YouTube's in San Francisco. Actually, no, it's not in San Francisco. It's in Mountain View. But there is a Google office here. Let's see. Let me go over here. You can see that person behind me. Anyhow, maybe go to their office and tell them about your videos getting taken down. If you can't solve it online, take it up in real life. Well, there was somebody who went over to the YouTube office and tried to settle things in real life. Unfortunately, she brought a gun and shot a few people. So I don't think that they're going to be wanting YouTubers going over to their office to go talk about how they don't like YouTube's policies. actually, I hear maybe some people having fun, but I heard some screaming. But yeah, I was dealing with issues at YouTube. I almost got my channel deleted the same time that woman went over and shot up over at the YouTube campus and then shot herself. And I reached out to them and, you know, told them, like, I know what it's like, you know. I was held hostage at gunpoint. And, you know, had a little bit of a correspondence there. And then, just to think, like, just a few months later, that we're going to be... Hold on, let me see. There's people on a scooter. Just to think that a few months later, I would talk about that very story, and then, yeah, face more difficulties with YouTube. So, let's see, you would really think that they, or you would think that they would consider the way they're running their site if people are literally shooting them. It's funny, after that happened though, I was thinking that it was the worst thing that could happen. You know, I was thinking like, well, now this is just going to justify things in their mind. Wait, hold on, there's an excellent view of the bridge here. Look at that. I'm right here in front of the ferry building. And there's the bridge right over there. It's sort of wide angle, so you can't see how close it is. But it's pretty close. I never noticed it, you know, and I wouldn't have if it wasn't illuminated like that. I guess I'll just sort of wander over towards there. Let's see, you would think that the way that they're running the site, if people are literally shooting them. No, yeah, I thought it was going to be quite the opposite. I thought YouTube would crack down even harder because people are doing that. But they actually, after that, did put up a survey asking people how they felt about YouTube, but nothing positive has really changed. You know, most of the changes are negative or financially motivated. Oops, sorry, I was trying to show the bridge, but I wasn't looking at the camera. Okay, anyhow, seems like I sort of just get stuck in a pattern of going in the same places. I was planning on going to a different place for my next stream last week, I was thinking, but I didn't do anything this weekend just because I've just been enjoying the 3-day weekend with my family. My family being, you know, my wife and my daughter. That's why I was like I said, I was just downtown and I decided to I put up a little poll, see if people wanted me to stream today or tomorrow. But next week, the next time I stream, where do you guys want me to go to? Meanwhile, I'm going to read, Oregon has a huge homeless population too. Where, like over by Portland? Oh man, I love SF. It's so beautiful there. One of my favorite places. All right. Anyhow, let me go see if Care Bear, or what's his name? Karma Bear is over here. LA, well, LA is known for it, right? They have those people over in Skid Row. But seriously, I don't think that there's a major U.S. city that compares per capita to the homeless people here in San Francisco. Yeah, and I don't know how many other cities actually track how much feces and needles there are on the streets. But, yeah, you know, it's crazy. Oregon, so much of it is rural, you know? At some point, could it really be homeless if you're living out there in the woods, you know? So, no, I don't see Karma Bear over here. You know what? It's going to be pretty hard. Well, never mind. I was going to say it's going to be pretty hard to find homeless people here because it's so cold and it's over right by the water, you know. But I guess not. I've been to Portland one time when I was over. It was a long time ago though. When I was 16. I was over there as part of a field trip when I was over at Oregon State University. Might have been 15 or 16. So I went to a pre-college visual workshop over at Oregon State University. Sacramento actually had a crazy homeless problem too. Like one time I was stranded over in downtown Sacramento and had to walk 30 miles to get home, and I never knew that there was a homeless problem until after midnight, and then they're just roaming the streets. I didn't even know where they came from, you know. So, you know, it's crazy. You can see so many landmarks. So there's the ferry building behind me. If you could see over yonder, that's Coit Tower over there. Then over here, nestled between these two buildings, that's a Transamerica Pyramid. There used to be a city ordinance that stated that no building could be taller than the Transamerica Pyramid. However, there are now buildings that are taller, like the Salesforce buildings, which are over here. So, and then again, there's the Bay Bridge, where I was at over there. That's a little piece of it. It has been raining heavily in SF the past week. It must have been terrible for the homeless. No, actually, what's interesting is when it gets cold and rainy, that's when there's a lot of competition over in the shelters. So a lot of homeless people go into the shelters when the conditions are poor outside. And that may be why I'm not seeing any outside right now. I'm just gonna go take this little detour. You know, if I was homeless, I would be going over into these areas just because, yeah, there's nothing competing with you. It's quiet. Nobody ever comes around here, you know? And I think it's relatively safe. But then again, if something were to happen, there wouldn't be anybody around to help you out. It's crazy. You see basically a full moon out. Yeah, I'd probably come someplace like over here after the restaurant shuts down. They got benches, and you could just be resting right over here and have nothing to worry about, really, you know? Let's see, I think, let me switch the camera around. I think out west is worse with the homeless issue because the weather is there better year-round. Here in the East Coast, it's currently freezing. You know, I read about somebody actually, who was a journalist who was trying to do a story about homeless people over in the East Coast, and so he tried to live the life of a homeless person and spent the night out in the freezing cold. It wasn't really out, it was over in a dilapidated building. You know, he was like house squatting, and he ended up dying of exposure like his first night out. So yeah, you know what's really interesting is over in New York, the homeless people who live in the subway. You know, that's a really crazy thing. Wow, it looks so crazy out here. It always amazes me how it looks out here. It's like a painting, you know? to seeing like the reflections of, you know, of the ripples of the water. But anyhow, doesn't look, like I said, if I was homeless, I'd be out here. There's nobody ever goes out here, especially at night. And it's quiet. You got nothing to worry about as far as violence. And the only noise disturbance would be every once in a while there's a foghorn. But you can hear that almost anywhere in the city if you listen closely enough. I wouldn't make it in New York City. Oh, it's beautiful over there. Wow. Yeah, it always is. Oh, look at that. Somebody just threw a pallet out there. You know, I've seen some crazy stuff. I saw, you know, I follow SF311 on Twitter, and I see like the reports. In fact, you know what, if somebody wants to report it, I don't know what pier I'm at, but if you could report to SF311, you could tell them that there's a pallet over in the water behind the piers. But anyhow, so every once in a while I go, I'm not really big on Twitter, I just check every once in a while. And I saw a sea otter. No, it was a sea lion that was nibbling on a heroin needle. You know, his head was up there and he was trying to eat a heroin needle that had been thrown out there in the water. So now I'm just sort of checking to see what other garbage might be out there in the water. It reminds me of Spirited Away. You know, when the stink spirit came in to the bathhouse, and they reached in there and felt something poking out, pulled it out, and there's just a bunch of garbage. Turned out the stink spirit was actually a river spirit that had been polluted. So here's the pier. I always like to go out on these piers, but I don't think that there's going to be anything today, and I've kind of done it a few times, so unless you guys want me to. But over there's the Bay Bridge. You could see those little boats. These things are huge. It's like mansions out on the water. But where's the sea lions at? Down this way. It's got to go quite a ways. That's behind Pier 39. I could go over there. Oh, look, here's somebody. Last time I was streaming, I saw somebody. Oh, you know, this is not that bad of a place. The benefit of being over here is there's a public restroom here and water. Although it's for some reason it's colder over here than it was behind those buildings. Yeah. Ooh, man, it is, it's gotten a lot colder all of a sudden. So yeah, there's nothing really downtown. Not downtown, over in the Embarcadero. You'll see joggers from time to time, and a few stragglers out here. And homeless people sleeping. Should I keep going down here, or should I head back over downtown and see what it's like over there? Or maybe I could try to trek over to Coit Tower over yonder, or maybe I could go see the Transamerica Pyramid, or go over to the Salesforce Tower. What do you guys want? I'll do whatever you guys say within those parameters. Where's the power over there? Although, actually, you know what? If I went over to Coit Tower, it'd be, okay, Pyramid. I'll go over there. Okay. I was gonna say, if I went over to Coit Tower, it'd be super dark. So I don't know, and plus I'm not sure if the reception would be that good on the way over there. So anyhow, let's go over here. And there's a higher chance of me seeing people. Carlos, you're slow. Lessons in Tanya already said Pyramid. Yep. So now I'm just basically waiting for the light to change. And I'll trek on over to Coit Tower. It really is crazy. I feel like I'm guiding myself as a tourist, you know, because I'm like, wow, look at that landmark. And then you're like, oh, that's that landmark. Well, look at this one. I know that one. So anyhow, I guess I'm going to go over to the Transamerica Pyramid, see what it's like over there. So I remember when I came to the city in the early 2000s, people told me like, oh, you used to be able to go up to the top of Coit Tower and look around, you know? They have like these high magnification cameras up at the top. You used to be able to control them and look around, but for some reason it's not. Fuck, there it goes. But due to heightened security concerns from 9/11, they shut that down, and it was inaccessible for a very long time. I heard a commenter, not heard, I read a comment from a viewer who said that it's now open. So maybe I should go check that out sometime. But yeah, it's crazy all the things that they shut down under the guise of security, you know? Like the bathroom over at the BART station over in I think Balboa, no, 16th Street, that shut down. They used to have a little sign that said for heightened security risks or whatever, and it's been so long since 9/11. That thing is still not open. Where are you from originally? So I was born in Palo Alto, but I've lived in a lot of cities all around the Bay Area, and basically, so I was born in Palo Alto. My dad moved over to San Jose, where where my stepmom lived, so they could be next to her mother for when their children were born. So I lived over in San Jose until I left because I was being abused over there. Entered the system and lived in a bunch of different places. In fact, the reason why I'm in San Francisco is because, yeah, the last placement that I was ever in was Mary Ann Carpenter's, which is transitional housing for foster youth, and that it was over off of Alamany. So I lived over there until I hit 18, and they grabbed all my stuff and threw it in garbage bags and dropped me off outside the Larkin Street Youth Shelter. So, but yeah, I lived all over. I lived in Sacramento. I know it's dark. Sorry about that. I lived in Napa. I lived in Angwin. I lived in South San Francisco. I lived in Mountain View at in a children's shelter. I lived in Santa Clara in the Bill Wilson Center. I lived all over San Jose in various group homes. Yeah, just basically I lived all over the Bay Area. I was trying to write, I love Palo Alto. Yeah, Palo Alto. Palo Alto is interesting. You know, like it's split down the middle by the train tracks. On one side, you have like a beautiful city, you know, with trees lining the streets, an amazing downtown area, you know, with some really cool places. You got the Stanford Theater over there, Stanford University. On the other side, you have what used to be the murder capital of the world, or at least the murder capital of the Western world. So, yeah, there's a point in time, I don't know if it's true now, but there was a point in time where there was never any, hold on, I don't know if this is spam or not, somebody just put a link to something on Twitter, which I can't click, actually. Anyhow, there's a point in time where there was no hospital in East Palo Alto, so you could never really technically be born in East Palo Alto. Let me show you. I'm outside of Channel 5's offices over here, KPIX 5, but for some reason it's not focusing. There, you can kind of see it. Let's say you can't click on it. It's relevant. No, I can't click on it. I'm inside of a streaming app. I tried clicking on it, and all it did was switch the camera around. Could you tell me what's in there? Let me try again. I'm just tapping it repeatedly. Every time the camera shakes, it's because I'm tapping it. And when I double tap, it switches the camera around. So, yeah, I can't open it. They have this really nice mall over there. Really ritzy. You know, my grandma lives over in Palo Alto. My grandfather lived over there. He used to work for Lockheed, and then later worked for the Navy as like an electrical engineer. And apparently he had worked on some. He had helped design some aircrafts, but I really wish I could find out what he worked on. But I don't know how I'd go about finding that information. You know, some of that stuff, probably a lot of it, was what's the word I'm looking for? Not sealed, but you know what I mean. Oh, hold on. Here is the Trans-America Pyramid right there. Whoop. So, I'm gonna cross, and then I guess I'll wander on downhill towards it. So, yeah, you can see there's nobody out here on the streets except for me, really. Okay, President Donald Trump called San Francisco streets disgusting. Mayor London Breed says she's cleaning the streets, and then called Trump's presidency a mess. London Breed is not doing anything. Honestly, I mean, but I think it'd be crazy to expect that she would make a major change. But you can tell just by listening to her, she has no real intention on cleaning up the streets, you know? She says that she wants, and then she has highly publicized little excursions out on the streets where she may point out a few little pieces of litter, but no, she is not doing anything major to clean the streets up. Classified, that's right. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of the stuff that he worked on was classified regarding my grandfather and working for Lockheed and for the Navy and for who knows what else. But yeah, it's interesting, you know, just learning about the whole Bay Area and Silicon Valley and stuff, you know, because it's all centered around NASA. You know, they set up over in the heart of Silicon Valley, and then everything grew up around it. You know, IBM and all these other companies really like just grew around. It's sort of like a fairy circle, you know. Well, like there'll be a giant tree there, and a bunch of other little trees will start growing around that. So yeah, NASA was over there, and all these companies, all these computer companies grew up, and now you have like the biggest place in the world. Now, it's not just now, it's like since its inception. You know, and that's where Microsoft was started, that's where Apple was started, HP, and you know, tons, most of the computer companies started over there. Let's see, but anyhow, since London Breed became mayor, has there been any positive impact on reducing the amount of homeless, feces, tents, and needles? I would say no. I would say no, because it just seems to be getting worse year after year. Now today, I'm walking around and you don't see people out on the streets, but that's because it's cold. If it were a temperate day, you'd be seeing a lot more people out on the streets, and it's been getting worse year after year. Ever since Ed Lee came into office, the way that they've been dealing with the homeless is by having police go by and telling homeless to get up and to go somewhere else, and throwing away all their crap. I mean, I've talked to people who've had their IDs thrown away, you know, or wallets with cash thrown away. They just come over with a big dump truck. Oh, they come over with a big dump truck and just throw everybody's crap inside there, throw their tents, throw everything else. So, yeah, no, I don't think so. There may, I mean, the metrics may come out that show that there is some sort of small improvement year over year. However, it's been so many years of decay that it is not, it's worse than it was when I got here by far. Let me show you what's right here in front of me. Boom, the Transamerica Pyramid. So I'm close to the base of it. I was trying to see what's behind those gates, but you know, I'm kind of out of the loop just because I don't read the news. Although I should probably start if I'm going to be talking about topical issues like this. But after I realized that all the news agencies repeat the same stories, and after I noticed that a lot of it seemed like propaganda, I just disengaged from the whole feed. So basically, this is the base of the Transamerica Pyramid, and this thing is huge when you're at the base of it. Whoops, sorry about that weird camera movement. Yeah, it doesn't really capture how giant this thing is. I mean, I'm 6'8", and that's about as high as I could reach with my feet on the ground. So that's, my head is at 2 meters, so. Woo. Anyhow. Let me read the comments. Okay, since, yeah, last time I was there, I remember having to ask for bathroom keys at Starbucks. Learned that was because there was homeless and addicts were using the bathrooms for other reasons. Oh, that happens all the time. People shoot up. Even I'm standing here under like one of our most famous landmarks, and I'm just smelling stale pee. But yeah, there's needles everywhere. In fact, on my way over here, what did I see? I always see crazy stuff every time I'm going downtown. I can't even remember it because it's just so common, you know? But you'll find needles all over the place. Let's see. I can't. For me, I'm seeing all the text in white, so I gotta cover it up so I can read the text. And they had needle disposals in there too. Even though Whole Foods had needle disposal, but hey, it's better than leaving them out for someone to step on. I don't know, it's a sort of a controversial issue, you know, the whole needle exchange thing. Because on the one hand, you don't want there to be like just rife spread of disease from IV drug use, you know. On the other hand, people are handing out needles, so there's really no incentive to hang on to your needles, so you find needles all over the place. And one of the, the problem is that some of the people who are advocating for the needle exchange directly benefit because they're selling the needles to the city and making quite a profit doing so. So it's sort of a complicated issue. I think honestly that they should focus more on rehabilitation rather than sort of just giving out drug paraphernalia. But there's no solution that's going to make everyone happy. But honestly, I think the needle exchange has been around for a while, but it certainly seems like it's just making the needle situation here in San Francisco worse. Oops. Let's see. Can't read the white text. Let's see. Even the Whole Foods. Oh, that's not a new comment. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. But even like 15 years ago, when I lived over in the Tenderloin, needles were an issue there, and I had somebody getting ready to stab me with a needle before, and I almost bumped into somebody with a needle in their neck. So yeah, I just think people are interested in addressing symptoms and not interested in addressing problems. It's interesting, you get certain places in the city and it's just like rough. Like, look at these streets, you know? Guarantee you're not going to be finding sort of patchwork streets over in a richer neighborhood. Oops, that camera's moving on its own. So now I'm just basically wandering around here. Amen to that, Lee. I hate seeing all the focus on the symptoms and not the underlying cause. From Trevor Gwynn. No, I totally think we should address the problem. Yeah, well, you know what? You're not... Building homeless shelters is not the solution, you know? It's like taking painkillers does not solve the underlying issue. It alleviates the noticeable symptoms. However, just like painkillers, the problem could be getting worse, but you wouldn't know it, you know? You build more and more homeless shelters, you're seeing less homeless people on the street, but those things can continue to be filled out. You could have more and more of a homeless issue, but you're just not seeing them as much. Or you move them into some more remote place in the city. Or you have, like we have here in the city, those what are those, crossroads stations or whatever, where they buy you a one-way ticket to someplace else, so we don't have to deal with you anymore, you know? I mean, where are they going? Where are they going? Where are they going to get treated? Nowhere, you know? It's similar to, like, there'll be a bad neighborhood, and so they're like, you know what, we need to fix this bad neighborhood. It's not right. These people of color don't have the same, they don't have the same privileges that other people have, you know? So let's dump a bunch of money inside the neighborhood. Let's build parks. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's open all this place. So they dump a bunch of money in the neighborhood. They clean it all up. The house prices go up. The people who were living there originally can no longer afford to live there, and then they've been completely displaced. You've improved the neighborhood. However, the what do you call it? The demographics have completely changed. You know? It's no longer the same people. Okay, hold on. Whoops. Let's see. Anyhow, so is it true that this from Trevor Gwynn? Is it true that San Francisco attracts homeless people from elsewhere with amenities that they provide? Well, there is two. I guess there would be yes, but there's more than just one reason for that happening. So one, you know, San Francisco is known for the services that it provides to the homeless and for its homeless population, and really homeless community. It has some famous homeless people who live over here, like Diamond Dave and other people like that. That's one. Two is that cities like Las Vegas and I'm sure many other cities actually dump off their homeless and mentally ill and handicapped people out here in San Francisco. They'll take them and they'll buy them a one-way ticket here to San Francisco and just call it a wrap. Like, for example, this case that I had read about, there was I think it was a man who was suffering from mental illness who was also blind. They took him out of a treatment facility and put him on a bus with a one-way ticket to San Francisco from Las Vegas. And that was that, you know? I mean, how is he going to come? Oh, he's blind. How is he going to be able to buy a ticket to come back and homeless and mentally ill? So, yeah, I've talked to homeless people out on the streets, and in general, they come from other places. But yeah. So let me see the other comments. Let's see. Liz W says both. Rather than lock addicts up, but they will still be addicts. They need to fix them. They need to help or cause them to be addicts. Castro is a perfect example of that, says Lamb Chop. You can't just jump off what you don't want to deal with. You know, it's interesting. A lot of San Francisco's neighborhoods are sort of defined by outside actions. So, let me think. I mean, I don't know. San Francisco's known for its gay community, and you know, it's been known for a long time. But a lot of people don't know that it used to be if you were in the Navy and you were gay, you'd just be thrown out here in San Francisco. You know, like they would dump you off at the San Francisco port. You know, there's certain neighborhoods that, like Hunters Point and the Bayview, that have very different demographics from the rest of the city, is also very dangerous and very poor. People don't know that there was a point in time where San Francisco gathered up all of the black people and put them in those areas and told them they couldn't buy a house. It was illegal for them to buy a house in other neighborhoods. So you get, they're all bunched up over there. You know, there's lots of various stories like that explain why certain neighborhoods are certain ways. So anyhow, I'm over by the Embarcadero Center. And here I am. I don't think that I'm going to be seeing very many homeless people over here. But anyhow, it's a cool place to hang out. Yeah, I think it wasn't until like the 70s or something like that when black people were allowed to buy houses in other neighborhoods. But yeah. You know, it's interesting, in the early 19th century, like San Francisco never was affected by the plague, but I mean never seriously affected by the bubonic plague, but there was a case where one person had they found that had the bubonic plague, and they shut down all of Chinatown. They put a rope all around Chinatown and locked it off because they thought that it was that the Chinese were spreading it. But it's interesting the little things you'll learn about the city. It used to be here in San Francisco. Used to be illegal for Chinese people to own businesses, and there was sort of a landmark case about a Chinese laundromat owner that allowed them to own businesses. Let's see, that's so screwed up, but it's kind of, but it also kind of makes SF what it is today, which is amazing. Yeah, you know, it's like if you really learn about the history of San Francisco, especially the history of like about 100, 150 years ago, you really learn a lot. It's what's crazy too, and then nobody really seems to be talking about this, is that there still is like a very big criminal underworld here, right in Chinatown, with human trafficking, underground gambling rings, and like you can see these buildings that are clearly labeled Tong over there, which can mean community, but it really means like that these are gangs. Used in the 1920s, the SFPD was shutting down these tongs, but they suddenly stopped, and they were never really mentioned again since then. I mean, every once in a while, something will happen, like, you know, Leland Yee, who got in trouble, or there'll be that guy like Shrimp Boy who shot somebody, but for the most part, they just don't talk about it, and it's not addressed because, I mean, honestly, I don't think people care about what happens to Chinese people, especially Chinese people who don't speak English here in San Francisco. But anyways, I'm always surprised that Embarcadero Center is still open. Also, Chinese Pride, woohoo. I like SF Chinatown better than New York City's. I've never been to New York City's. But you know, it's interesting. Again, the Chinatowns are all very interesting because they all speak Toisanese. There's actually more people speaking Toisanese outside of China than in China, and most of them live here in the U.S. And of those people, most of them live either in San Francisco or New York City. And for those who don't know, Toisanese is a sub-dialect of Cantonese. So, again, here I am. There we go, the Transamerica Pyramid. And there's some sort of park over here. And you can slightly see, whoops, the Golden, not the Golden Gate, the Bay Bridge behind there. So, anyhow, it seems like every stream that I have, I'll have like one really good interview with somebody and then sort of not be able to find anybody else to talk to for the rest of the stream. But that was crazy at the beginning of those the stream. Those guys who called me out as soon as I started filming and were just like snorting coke right in front of me. Yeah. me just sort of wander around over here. So it's sort of like desolate over here. $4.99 from Liz W. Is that another super chat? I can't see over there. If so, what's going on? Why do you keep giving me super chats? Oops. It's not flipping around. There we go. Is that just an old comment? Oops. Oh, it is a super chat. Whoa, thank you again, Liz W. Yeah, this is awesome. I feel like a taxi driver, you know? Every few miles the meter flips up again. Thank you. I'm always sort of at a loss of words when that happens. Yeah, thank you very much. You know, I just realized that I'm sort of just heading around in circles over here. That's the Trans-American Pyramid that I'm wandering towards again. I'm walking through the Embarcadero Center again. I guess I'll try to head back towards... You know what, let me head up towards downtown. I think this is downtown. I told you, oops, I told you guys before in the live stream, but you know, I'm looking at the screen, not really paying attention. I get sort of disoriented. On top of the fact that I'd been choked unconscious when I was 14, and since then, my sense of direction is a little bit off. I used to be immaculate, you know, along with my memory and recall. My memory now is still very good, but not what it used to be. My sense of direction is, I would say, subpar for sure. I used to be able to like just have my head down and reading a book the whole time on my way over to school, and not lift my head up until I'm back over at school again. Hold on, there's that guy with the pizza box again. But nowadays I find that I just kind of wander around aimlessly. The day after I was choked unconscious, I was over in high school. I was just lost. I was looking around like, you know, where do I go? Everybody was like filing away to their classes, and us, yeah, where do I go? Who do I talk to? I was just wandering around the school aimlessly. Oops, they're cleaning up the streets over here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. It was lagging. Oh, hopefully it's not lagging. Is it still lagging? Okay. Well, you deserve it. You're walking so hard. I have the worst sense of direction. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Look right here. Yep. So Anyhow, let me see if there's any... If you have a terrible sense of direction... Hold on, let me go back. So you'll find that I'll get lost sometimes. Wonder what this place is right here. Oh, I didn't even know that there's a Canon store over here. Yeah, this is a place I'm completely unfamiliar with. Are you guys still there? Is it still lagging? It's not saying anything for me. God bless those two. Yeah, there's people everywhere out here. You know, I talk to homeless people sometimes who are out here on the streets and ask them, like, if they got a place to stay. And they say, like, I don't like staying in the homeless shelters, you know? I saw somebody, you know, on a night colder than this, yeah, just laying straight on the sidewalk in a t-shirt. And, yeah. He didn't like staying any place. He didn't want any clothes, and he didn't like being over inside inside homeless shelters. So not lagging. Okay. Do people mostly leave the people sleeping on the street alone? You know what's funny? The people who mess with them the most are the police. They will take the blankets off of them and tell them to get out of there and throw away the blankets. But yeah, you know, actually I have heard that rape is a problem when people are homeless. I used to think, like, man, who would rape a homeless person? But I guess homeless people rape other homeless people out on the street, so that's something you got to worry about. But yeah, you know, at least it's not as bad as I hear over in London, that they will, you know, people will just kick the ass out of homeless people, and that typically doesn't happen here. Although I remember a time when somebody knocked a homeless person unconscious, and yeah, he fell back and hit his head over on the sidewalk, and people just kind of walked around him. He ended up just dying out there on the sidewalk. So for the most part, people leave you alone, but people aren't exactly springing at the opportunity to assist them either. Let's see, man, it feels so deserted tonight. I feel like I'm in my own city. Yeah, well, yeah, it'll feel that way, you know? Everything shuts down, and yeah, when it's cold, no one's out. So I did manage to make it back over to Market, and here we are. This is, again, the ferry building. So I guess I took sort of a grand loop from there all the way around. So, here we go. I guess I'll go on the other side of the street, see how it looks over there. But anyhow, there is the ferry building. And it looks like there's somebody who is in a tarp or something over here. Hold on. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's somebody's stuff or if somebody's inside of a wheelchair. Don't know. Oh well, anyways, never can tell. Looks like there's a prostitute over here. see. Yeah, it's so cruel how we treat the homeless population. Yeah, well, I'm not sure if it's exactly cruel. I would say it's just not caring. You know? But those people like Daniel Smith, who was on the stream earlier, I don't think that they're necessarily... I mean, he says that he does stuff for some sort of religious community group, but he doesn't like me just talking openly about stuff and filming stuff. I don't know, I forgot where I was going with that because I was looking around while I was talking. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't really see it necessarily. People's actions are necessarily are cruel regarding the subject. I think that they're just unsympathetic or uncaring. I think there's a famous saying that you could judge. Oh, I'm gonna butcher it really bad. It's something along the lines of like you can judge the quality of a society by how they treat people who have nothing to offer, or something along those lines. It's a really bad paraphrasing. But anyhow, you know, San Francisco obviously doesn't address the issues properly. However, they at least are doing something. Even if that something is superficial, it still is something. And a lot of the homeless people that I talk to tell me that they're not actually homeless, that they live in an SRO. You know, I see people smoking crack who are like out there and look homeless, you know, toothless and everything, in wheelchairs or otherwise crippled. And I'll go over and talk to them. By crippled, I mean handicapped or maimed, you know. I don't mean that as an offensive term, but they'll be otherwise handicapped. And I'll talk to them and find out, like, oh yeah, I'm about to go into a place right now, into an SSRO, so they're not really, maybe not SRO, sorry, I'm kind of rambling here. But yeah, it is pretty barren out here. So I just, normally I see stuff on the other side of the street, but I just thought I was already over there, so just gonna see what's over there. And there might be people in this little back alley over here. I see people over on the streets, I mean seated over on the seats over there. But it doesn't look to be anything really. Oh, here, there's somebody sleeping right there on the street, right there. I remember the Bushman and heard he died in 2014. I saw him in 2009, but I went back in 2014. He had already passed, broke my heart. Yeah, the Bushman was quite a sight. You know, I used to see him all the time over by the waterfront. For people who don't know, the Bushman, it was a homeless guy who would like grab like a branch and hide under it, hide behind it, and scare the crap out of tourists. But he passed away. There was also like an imitator, and I think that guy also passed away. Also, here we have the garbage truck gathering all the garbage down here, Recology. You know, here in California, like they tax every can or bottle sold, and they give you that money allegedly back when you return the can or bottle. And because of that, you'll see a lot of homeless people digging through the recycling and gathering cans and bottles to exchange for money. But it makes me wonder what happens. You know, you have to pay people to come collect your recycling. So, like, what happens to all the recycling that Recology gathers? Do they then double dip and sort of cash out the recycling that they charge you to collect? Let me see. Let me see. I bet you these things have already been cleared out of any kind of cans or bottles. Yep. Yep, doesn't look like there's any. Nope. Whoa, the camera's going crazy. Sorry about this. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah, there used to be another person who was sort of famous in San Francisco. There was this guy who was all covered in gold. There's this guy who was like all spray painted in gold, who was wearing gold clothes and stuff. And who would like, oops, he would use a kazoo. Or other noisemaker. He eventually died, but there was a lot of imitators of him too. He would sort of stand still like a statue. I don't think they really do that anymore either. Sleeping right on top of a grate. It's because the sewers produce heat, and so it's kind of warm. It's trapping heat up in there. But he's pretty soundly asleep. So yeah, these little. Oh, this says high voltage over here. So I guess it's not a little sewer hole. PG&E. So, probably not the, I mean, I guess it would be warmer, but probably not the best thing to lay on if you're worried about your long-term health. I'm sure there's a lot of electromagnetic radiation coming out of there. Oh, I hear somebody cackling. I'll go, so I think I see where he's at. He's under the American flag, actually, across the street. So I'll go over and sort of meander past and see what's up over there. Yeah, I remember the gold guy. Yeah, it's been a while. You know, another thing about, like, sort of imitating, what do you call it, street performers. I had a friend, Jesse Morris, known as the punk rock Johnny Cash. He had killed himself. He hung himself. But he was pretty famous. You can even look on YouTube and see, what do you call it, a documentary that was done by BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit, our sort of subway system. But anyhow, he died, and right after he died, there was a bunch of imitators who was popped up everywhere, singing Johnny Cash. Now, of course, he's not Johnny Cash, but it really did feel. I felt upset by it. I guess just because I was so close to him. But it's only natural, right? It's only natural that people would be trying to do something to gain money, especially if people are traveling to San Francisco and keeping an eye out for specific street performers. Okay, so now I'm on the same side of the street as a homeless guy, and I'm just going to flip the camera around. And I don't see it quite yet, although I do see a sign. There's another guy walking across the street over here. So, if you can see where that American flag is dangling, he should be right over there. Oh, and look, they got some tents over here, down here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it on screen, but you can see it right here. There's one sort of blue tarp set up, and then behind it, there's another tent, but there's people standing around there, so I'm not going to go over there right now. Alright, so I'm going to slowly start going over here. Seems to be a little break in the screen. Oh, here it goes. I'm going to... So that scares the crap out of me. So they're asking why the streets so sparkly. It's basically, it's made out of it reminds me of the same kind of stuff you would see over inside a garage. I'm gonna go back just because it's so scary. I mean, really, as I'm standing there, it's just like scaring the holy crap out of me. I'm gonna wait for one more time. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It's like a rabid dog. It really scares the crap out of me. I mean, I don't know how scary it is when you guys are watching it on the other side of the screen. However, yeah. It sort of rattles you to the core when you're there, hearing somebody going like that. But I can't say that it's the first time I've seen something like that. But yeah, I don't know. That stuff, it bothers me, you know, because I don't think that, I mean, what are the prospects for it, you know? It's only going downhill from there, and it's already pretty far downhill, you know? Yeah. But anyhow, right on the other side of the street. So for those who don't know, I'm over on 2nd Street, 2nd and Market. So I would say that this is the financial district. Hence why there's, you know, Chase over here, and all these giant buildings over here. The Hobart building and everything. And Montgomery Street Station. But then, right down the street, at this, right next to a Starbucks coffee, you have somebody just raving. Are you lost? Oh, okay. Oh, and I had already been over here. Yeah. So, anyhow, that's what San Francisco is like. Oh, here we go. Got another person with a stolen bike crossing the street. Got other people across the street collecting garbage. But yeah, I will say that today there's less garbage on the streets, but also today would be the day that they're collecting garbage on the streets. Look at that, it's got a bike and a skateboard. Pretty sure that bike was stolen too. Anytime you see somebody with two forms of transportation, it's pretty suspect. If you see somebody riding a bike and holding a bike next to them while they're riding their bike. Oh, let me tell you about this McDonald's here. So this McDonald's is pretty crazy. What's up? You want to be on stream? Come talk to me. What's your name?
What are you doing?
It's for my YouTube channel. Just live streaming, showing San Francisco.
Oh.
Yeah. What are you guys up to? You guys from the city?
I do.
Huh?
Orders.
Oh, where are you guys from?
Tracy.
Tracy. Okay.
Modesto.
Yeah. I used to stop over there sometimes. Got an awesome liquor store. That's all I remember. Like it just stocked with like candy everywhere, you know. But anyhow, I don't want to hold you guys up too long.
Well, enjoy the view.
Same to you.
See the sea cliff.
The what?
Or
The Cliff House?
Cliff?
Cliff House Hotel? Is that it?
No, it's a beach. You can park for free.
Oh yeah.
Beach, beautiful.
All right. Anyhow, let me talk about this McDonald's here. So I was in this McDonald's here before. This McDonald's you'll see is pretty hot. You see that there's some guy who obviously, I mean, you could just tell by his facial features that he was, I don't know, I don't want to say anything too offensive, but he was obviously born with some issues. You know, I don't mean like genetically. I mean, he looks like he was born addicted to crack because they have sort of a different look to their face. But anyhow, this place is pretty hot. Hot as in dangerous. One time I was sitting there with my friend. We were eating, and we just heard over the loudspeaker them say like, or this is whatever his face from security. Hey, yeah, could you guys see me? Wave your hands. You know, it was really bizarre. But anyhow, yeah, I used to have a friend who was born addicted to crack. He also suffered from schizophrenia. But anyhow. Let's see. Oh, you know what? This is Bank of America. You know, I used to live in this place called Guerrero House here in San Francisco. So I was over there. There was a bunch of other people like me who were basically sort of who had come out of the homeless shelter and were looking for a place to stay. So it was sort of a program for people who had come from the homeless youth shelter. Somebody who was there had a huge crush on me, and she worked over here at the Bank of America. And so after I left that place, you know, I was poor as hell. I used to come over and visit her over at the bank, and like she would take me out to eat on a fairly regular basis, and sometimes take me over to the House of Shields where she liked to drink. But anyhow, I was just remembering that as I was walking past. Yeah, those people look sketchy. Yeah, they did look a bit sketchy. I think they thought that I was a... Oops, the camera's going crazy. Sorry about that. I think they thought that I was a tourist. Yeah, I don't know what else we're gonna see. So, you can see that all's quiet on the western front as far as the hotel. So I assume everything wrapped up as far as the protests. Let's see. I would go there drunk as hell, and it was a wreck. Yeah. Anyhow. So it's crazy over here after 9 o'clock, as always, everything sort of shuts down. Which you wouldn't expect inside of a major metropolis, you know? Major metropolitan area. Let's see. Were those young kids that went by you? I don't know. I don't know who you're referring to. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you will see sometimes very young homeless people, or I've even seen before homeless people with children. You know, homeless woman with a baby. That's pretty crazy. But I've only seen that like once, maybe twice. So yeah, looks like maybe somebody's nodding over there from opiates. No, he's not. I talked to him before. He's looking for any drugs that may have fell through the cracks. Those women with babies are from Romania. They are scammers. I'm not talking about those women. You'll see that I have videos here on YouTube about that. No, I'm not talking about those women. I'm talking about, I saw a woman laying out in the street with a dirty blanket over her, with a dirty baby. Not begging for money, just literally sleeping on the sidewalk. So, yeah. And I don't believe that those women are not from Roma. Roma are a type of nomadic people, aka gypsies. So there's the Roma gypsies. There's also the Irish travelers. Those are basically the two main gypsies that I know of. And yeah, I know there's a lot of people. I didn't want to say gypsy right away because there's some people who feel like gypsy is a derogatory term. But yeah, I said Roma inside the description. A lot of people took that to mean Romanian. But you know, the gypsy people, that's another interesting thing, you know? If you learn about their history. You know, they also were targeted during World War II, and a lot of them were wiped out. It's interesting over in Europe, you know, they travel from place to place. They get thrown out of almost any country they go to, and then no country wants to accept them. So it really is a sort of strange situation. In France/Italy, we were warned of gypsies, which is an old term, and they were scammers. Yeah, it's pretty common. I heard about somebody who was over in Italy and lived by lived inside. Actually, was a commenter here on YouTube who was saying that their husband was over in Italy, and so they lived inside of like a military base, a U.S. military base over in Italy, and there were some gypsies that weren't very far from there, or some Roma people who weren't very far. There was a settlement, and they would yeah, they would beg for money, and if you didn't give them money, they would like look at your license plate as you drove past, and then search over inside the military base and actually break into your house and mess stuff up over there. Which sounds pretty crazy, right? Breaking into a military base, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the housing was around the base and not in the base, but still pretty crazy. Okay, look, we got someone here looking around on the ground for something. Let me go see what that's all about. Did you lose something? You lost something down there? Oh, okay. I got you. Trying to see if you can find any precious rocks. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, buddy. Tell him I dropped the contact there. I really think that he really is looking for precious stones, or precious rocks, I should say. Maybe some ice. So anyhow, yeah, I'm back around the main downtown area. Here I'm at 4th Street and Mission. Not Mission, sorry, I was reading a sign, 4th Street and Market. So, yeah, it doesn't seem particularly eventful, but that's how it goes. Yeah, when you're here on a sort of cooler night. Ask him if you lost the Chaos Emerald. Yeah, I don't know. I've got to think of something good. Maybe he's trying to... Oops, sorry. So... It's weird when you get in a little tango with somebody. Oh, you got somebody else recording. That person over there was also recording. So, yeah, buddy. Well, you know what? I'm sure if he found that Chaos Emerald, he would go supersonic. So, you see somebody here wrapped up in a tarp. You know, I really wouldn't even know where to buy a tarp. I don't know where all these tarps are coming from. Where are the piles of poo I keep hearing of? And do you have the poo app? No, I don't. And if I did, I wouldn't be able to use it anyhow because I'm streaming right now. But there's always a fresh supply. You know, I don't think you have to worry about that running out anytime soon. Let's see, what time is it? 10:38. Doesn't look like there's too much. Let me go see that. What's up over at the Powell Street station? Let me cross the street. It gets a little sketchy over by the stairs sometimes at night. How cold is it there? You know, it's crazy. Here downtown, it's not that bad. I don't know. It's hard to say because I've been in motion the whole time. But yeah, it's not bad. If you were to go over to the over by where the water is at, over at the waterfront, it is much colder over there. So I wonder, maybe I could, if I were to film over inside the BART station, I might be able to find some discarded needles. A lot of people seem to like to shoot up over down there. Oh, I gotta watch out. Hold on, I'm gonna hit the mute button just for a moment, just because they're playing music here. So, oops. So I'm gonna have to keep talking like non-stop because the speakers are here and I may get shut off. So I dare you to lick that floor. No, thank you. I'm cool as is. Disgusting. Thanks, Nancy Pelosi. I give the long lick. No, thank you. And I'm gonna put it back on mute just because it's a bit louder. Alright, there we go. So here we are over inside the station. Oops, there's still music. Go over around. Let's see, does Nancy Pelosi run SF? I don't know. She's a politician, but how she's connected to SF. She lives in a very, very wealthy neighborhood here. Let me see if I can see anything else noteworthy around here. Go to the Tenderloin, that's fun. I don't know, it's getting a little bit late. And considering how it's a holiday and things are running on Sunday schedule, I probably am gonna go after a little bit. Doesn't look like there's anything else down over here. Don't go to Chinatown. Now gangs will take your money and things never go there after 10 p.m. Hey, I'm not gonna go to Chinatown right now. Hey, Chinatown's pretty crazy. Every once in a while, you'll pass by one of those tongs, and the door will be open a little bit. And you'll get to see all the gambling tables behind there. So it's interesting, you know. San Francisco has an issue with human trafficking, but you just don't see it because it's all behind closed doors. So, yep, let's see what else is going on over around here. Probably not much. Sorry about that, the camera wigged out. let's go see what it's like over inside the BART station. We may be able to find something crazy over there. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think I'm getting all the comments. I see illegal BART entry, studio apartment, and in SF. Yeah. So maybe some of them are getting filtered out. This guy looks familiar. So this is the Powell Street BART station. Sometimes you'll see people just laying down on those little sitting areas, shooting up, or just with their toes out stretching up. Let me go. Oh, looks like there's a train coming already. Just going back here to see if there's anything over here. The one time I went to go sit over here, and one of the people in the station like yelled at me to get up off of there. See that people pee over here all the time. And if you see, it's actually corroded from all the pee that people have sprayed on here. You know? Especially over here, it's completely eaten holes into it. Watching song related to the last time I rode BART, the stupid windows were tinted so dark I couldn't even see outside. Yeah, they're still tinted pretty good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just going to keep checking, see if I see anything crazy. Let me see if this is an actual beer bottle. Yep. There's a beer bottle right over here. Can't see too well. Can't see if that's a syringe or not. Oh, maybe not. They probably have cleaned it up since, but somebody had told me that they saw needles just laying around here earlier today, so I was just checking to see if I could see it. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Looks like it's pretty well cleaned up for now. But you know what, I go over to the Glidden Park station, and over there actually, there's always something over there too. Well, not always, but a lot of times I'll be streaming, cut off the stream, and then see something crazy, you know? Yep. So this looks like it's basically it. There's nothing crazy so far in this whole station. Cell phone? Yeah, I'm using a cell phone right now. Oh, here we go. Dutch, what is this Dutch thing? Natural leaf. I guess maybe that's a blunt wrap right over there. What's this? Don't know, can't see. Anyhow. yeah, I guess there is an improvement. You know, didn't see any needles over here. Although there are suspicious wet areas. Yeah, so it's been upgraded, you know, no needles, just beer bottles, cans of beer. So anyhow, I guess that this is going to be, let's see, how long is it going to be? So this is basically going to be it, I guess, for the stream. Do you guys have any questions for me? Anything you want me to talk about briefly? The train is coming in like 3 minutes. Do you ever go to Oakland? No, I don't go over to Oakland. I mean, it's been like 15 years since the last time I ever went to Oakland. And honestly, I'm just not familiar with it. And Oakland at least used to be pretty bad, so I'd be kind of wary of going over there, not knowing what I'm doing. Although, my favorite art store in San Francisco, Flex, had moved over to Oakland. I had been contemplating going over there. Just to see their new location. Yeah. Anyhow, yeah. If I were to go over here during the daytime, I'm sure I'd see other stuff. Breezy Girl, I really do enjoy your streams, Lee. Hope you have a great night. All right, see you later, Breezy Girl. Ivan Najira, what did you think about today's adventure? Well, it was really cool seeing those guys in the very beginning. It was crazy that they were snorting coke right in front of me and then asking me to film them doing it. Yeah, so that was cool. That will hopefully make it into a highlight later, although knowing YouTube, they're probably going to ban me for doing that kind of stuff. But yeah, I wish I could have been able to talk to more people, because I really think that that's the most compelling part of the streams is when I'm talking to somebody out on the streets. Thank you for what you do. I'll probably see you next stream. Oh, by the way, so if anything happens to the stream, if I get like problems from Google as far as content in the stream, which is a high likelihood considering what I saw right in the beginning of the stream, and you want to see this later, you missed the beginning of the stream, check out my Patreon. I will make it freely available for anybody. You don't need an account, you don't need to give money or anything. I just put it up over there in those scenarios. Hold on, look over here. This is something I see all the time. I was going to make a compilation of times I've seen people sleeping here on the BART train. But I think you said it perfectly earlier when you said you were only let's see, showing us what most people in society wish to ignore or talk about. Yeah, well, that's why I was getting so frustrated. You know, now it's actually being talked about, but it's not being addressed correctly, I think. So, anyhow, the train is moving now. I'm probably going to lose signals. We'll